Hey everybody, Danny here. Today I just wanted to show off One Finger Death Punch 2, the sequel to One Finger Death Punch. It's on Steam for $8 right now, and I think it's a really novel concept, and I just wanted to show off a little bit of gameplay. The first game I really liked a lot, and I think it's a really interesting control scheme. If you are not familiar with this game at all, the controls are only the left and right mouse button, and I'm clicking those based on the color of the blocks underneath the enemies that are coming at me, orange being right and blue being left. You can see some of the enemies are coming at me with weapons and throwing things at me. That is also dodged and deflected with the same control scheme. That's all left and right mouse button, which to some might seem a little reductive, might be kind of boring to only have those two controls, but I think it serves this game's purpose in the way that you feel really badass without having to do a lot. You know, you can see I'm just picking up swords and slicing through guys, and I'm doing it with one hand. I always thought this game was really cool, and I think the sequel in specific is really interesting because they've added a lot of stuff like a skill tree. I don't remember if there really was one in the first one, but I don't think if there was, it was really fleshed out. The skill tree is really interesting because it can kind of guide you in the way you play. It'll actually show you, different things you can unlock based on your current kill streak. We'll get into that in a minute. I just want to show off a couple more levels. You'll also get these kind of special rounds, like this one. I'll have a lightsaber for most, if not all of it. Again, here are these boss guys, which are kind of their own separate encounter. They take more than one, obviously. And so I just think this game does a really good job of looking really good without being really complicated. Pretty clearly it's just a stick figure game, but it also seems like the kind of stick figure game that, you would have wanted watching Stick Figure Death Theater as a kid or a teenager. It really seems to deliver on that promise of just like the over-the-top wild action at all times. I'm throwing snipers at people, cutting them with a lightsaber. I think this game is wild, and I love the fact that it exists. I really do. A little hard to play while you're talking, but I think you get the idea. So we'll take a look back here. Just go back to the main menu. We could look at our skills. This is I don't know if I would hazard to call it a skill tree, but you can kind of put multiple gems or points into each of these skills, and that'll level them up based on, how many you have per skill. So you do gain these by going through the story, and as you can see, I'm only 48% complete there. There's also a survival mode. It's just to see how far you can make it. You get levels on these towers based on how far you can survive, and then you can kind of start based on where you left off last time, within reason. Great start where I'm getting hit right away. Probably going to make it pretty far here. I'm just going to try to make it as far as I can in this survival mode here, and we'll see where that gets us. Again, things might get a little bit crazy, so I might lose what I'm thinking here, but we'll just try to go as far as we can. If you haven't played this game, I highly recommend it. Again, it's only $8. I definitely got, at least an hour or two's worth of fun out of it. I played a lot of the first game, so maybe there's something to be said for already having played a lot of that and still wanting to play this. But I don't know, there's a lot of people I've talked to that haven't heard of this, and I think it's just a really cool thing to have in your Steam library. It's simple, it's, easy to get people into, it's accessible. and I think they've added a lot of variety since the first one. So I think if you haven't checked it out, and this is your first time seeing it, I would definitely give it a try. But as you can see in the survival tower, the further you get, the faster your speed's gonna go. The more enemies with weapons, the harder enemies, you're gonna get more bosses. But you also get more weapons and stuff, so that kind of balances it out. And based on your combo, you'll end up doing more kind of special moves like that. Enemies that slow time, as you could just probably saw on the screen right there. Not entirely sure what causes that whole background flourish thing to happen, or moves like that, but I want to say they really are just based on having a high combo. So, you know, obviously it benefits you to not get hit. I'm probably going to make it to about 2:15 here and call it quits. But again, I just wanted to show off this game. I think it's really neat. And I think it's really just, you know, easy to learn. Just left click and right click, and it kind of ramps you up throughout the campaign. There are a lot of levels to play, but they're all a little bit samey. That might be my one issue with the game, is that it is this. You know, there's not much more than this. There are a couple mini games here and there, but there's not much more to it than what you're seeing on the screen right now. But for $8, I feel like that's, you know, that's not that bad of a deal. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this game as much as I enjoyed playing it. And, you know, I hope some people see some of my videos and get into some games that they might not have considered or heard of otherwise. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, as always. I hope you have a good night, everybody.